Good morning, everyone. I'm going to do two cards this morning, and it is a boy and a girl baby card. And I'm using the Bundle of Love Memories and More cards. I'm also using the Bundle of Love DSP and some seam binding, which isn't Stampin' Up, just because it matches the colouring. The Sweet Sugar Plum, no, I'm a liar, Blushing Bride for the girl one doesn't match 100% to the cards, so I've used an alternative. So I'm going to trim up this is a sheet of A4, very vanilla in the thick, because the Bundle of Love is very vanilla, it's not Whisper White, and if you use Whisper White with very vanilla it clashes. So I'm chopping this down to 14, I'll tilt you up a wee bit. I'm chopping it down to 14.8, which is, let me see, 3, 4, 6, what have I got? 1, 2, 3. So it's actually 5 13/16. But I work in centimetres, so it works fine for me. And we just trim that across. Keep that because that's our second card base. Bring down our cutter because we don't need that just now. Put our card base back in to 10.5. Bring our score tool down and just gently run it over. I feel if you press down too much, you do end up with sometimes a crease that bursts through the card. So I tend to just go over it lightly a few times, and it just gives you a nicer, clean line with no breakages. And that's our card base done. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. Exact same situation. Take it into 10.5. Bring down my score tool and just lightly score over it a couple of times. And close it over. And that's our two card bases done. Try and get comfy because I'm a bit stiff and sore today. Let's see why this camera's playing doolally. Right, so we'll take our first one because I've kind of got the plan of the girl almost done. The boys one is a bit more the work in progress, because I was going to do that on camera, but I think I might just do both so you can get a better idea of what I'm doing. So the card layer is cut down to 0.2 centimetres of a border, so it's actually cut down to 14.6 and 10.3, just so that there's enough of a thin border around it. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to put down some wet glue just for quickness. And while I'm doing that, I'm actually going to put this on. This is just a piece of pink seam binding that I had in my collection. If I just tilt you up, you can see where my seam binding is kept. I'll show you that in a minute. My Stampin' Up seam binding is kept elsewhere so that I know it matches projects, etc. But my general seam binding is kept separately. So I'm just going to trim that down a bit because I don't actually need all that. Right, and I'm just going to add a little bit of tear tape so that this doesn't wiggle about too much, and we can maybe get it straight. That would be a great help. So I'm going to go about there, here a wee bit. There we go. Tuck that round. Tuck it round. And then we just unpick it. And I'm going to bring my tear tape back in, and that's just for a wee stand so that it doesn't stick to my glass mat. Just a wee tip. Right, so I'm turning it towards me so I can actually see what I'm doing. I'm going to zoom in because that's really annoying. I feel as if he's at the other end of the world. That's better. Right, so take my seam binding and place it over my tear tape. Turn it over, bring it up the back, and the same at that side. Perfect. Now we'll go in with our wet glue. And I've decided to use gold side of this just as a bit of a change. So many baby cards are all pink and blue, and I thought I do want to add pink obviously, but I don't want it to be the main and only colour that you view, hence why I thought I would use the gold side just to give it a wee bit of elegance. Right, so I'm just trying to line that up a wee bit, and as I said, the border is ever so thin. There we go, like that. Okay, then what I have done is I've got one of the wee journaling cards. There's actually two of these and they're identical, so when you turn them over they're the same on the other side. I did trim these down 1/2 centimetre each side or something, just so that it was going to fit on the card nicely, because they were a bit big. If I show you the original size of some of the other ones, let me just pull one out. This is the proper size of it, and if you put it on the card, yes, it fits, but it literally overwhelms the card. So I decided to trim it down and make it a bit more scaled, and I'm going to put that up with dimensionals. And I need more dimensionals because my wee case is running out. Right. Oh, laddie da. So I trimmed mine down. They were originally in a small wooden case, but I've now scaled up to the large wooden case. I don't need to trim them now. Right. And the seam binding that I've used here, I also just wrapped it round with mini glue dots, and then I made a wee bow for the front. I might put a wee bit of diamante. I was actually thinking of maybe bringing some sequins down in gold. Not 100% yet, so that'll be an added extra. Right, so let's get these wee bits off. And these are absolutely stunning. Little tag toppers or card toppers with very little embellishment needed. Right, so I want it slightly at an angle, I don't want it straight. Okay, there we go. Then I have got a wee kind of collection of things. So I've got this journaling card here that I've cut down. I think it's 1 3/4 by the actual width, and it's just to give it a wee bit of background there, because I'm going to add a wee doily, and if I put the doily on by itself it gets lost, you don't really see it very well. So this was just to kind of break it up a bit. Then we're going to add that there, and then I've got this, which is from my Love Today planner. I'll show you that in a wee second. And then what I done was actually layered the gold onto very vanilla cardstock, just a normal thin layer, and trimmed round it, but left the centre. And that's so that I can put a sentiment, or even better if you can, is put the new baby's photo in there, and then you can maybe put your sentiment there. I won't be putting anything because I probably will put a photo in it when the time comes. So I am going to put this down with wet glue. Oh, I've got itching with. And all these journaling cards, except the speciality ones like the acetate ones and the gold foil ones, are single-sided, but the rest are all double-sided. And the Bundle of Love ones are Soft Sky on one side and Blushing Bride on the other side, so they all match. Right, and for this one I'm only going to glue around the centre where that's going to go. Okay, so I can actually go in with this, and it doesn't matter if it comes through. Oh, I've got such an itchy nose, it's horrid. Right, so I'm just prodding my finger on top of it, make sure it sticks down properly. Right, and then as I said, I will probably add a photo to this, and if I add a photo, what I will do is actually die cut that centre out, put the photo behind it so that it looks like a proper frame. So what I'm going to do is just put a dimensional on this just now for the final result. Okay, so that I can easily unmount that and remount when and if I have to. But for now, that's the girl card done. Okay, and there is actually other ones in here that you could add inside for journaling with the baby's name and details and things. Let me just pull out. Like I said, the foil one, that's single-sided. Let me just see. You've got like the ones there that say yay. I mean, you could easily open that up and, oops, upside down, put that in like that, and then have the details of the baby's birth, the weight, etc. Don't know what other ones I've got in here that might work. As I said, there's a lot of the Blushing Bride and Soft Sky, and then you've got some beige. I mean, there's a pink one that says Little Stinker at the top, and it's the same on the other side. So even like that inside would be quite cute. Let me see. Simply Precious, same on the other side. So you could add that and have the details. And then there's just a simple journaling one. So there is loads of ideas there for using that kit, and they're not expensive. I have actually got the 4 of them in my wee holder that Amanda showed us how to make, and it's just sitting on my desk, which is why I decided to make these cards today. Right, so girl one done, and as I said, I will probably add a photo to that. So let's move on to the male one, boy one. So we have got our wee topper that I have added the same binding and added the bow. The rest I've done nothing with, except, sorry, I cut the DSP down, and as I said, the back, if you notice, both of them are soft sky, but I think that's a stronger soft sky. I think that's a stamped off soft sky, so they don't match 100%, which is why I didn't use a lot of soft sky on it. I decided to stick with very minimal. Right, so I've got, let me just see, there's my little blue patch for there. Should have a bit of blue ribbon for there. I need another doily. And these doilies that I'm using are discontinued, but you can use any doily that's small enough. These were from the spring summer catalogue. Come on out here. Let's take one. Right. So that piece of Very Vanilla, and I'll bring up my Love Today planner, and it's this one here that I'm using. So if I open it up to there, and all I'm doing is just taking that square sticker out, okay, and I have actually been using my planner, I promise. Look, where am I? See, it's on this week. That's a bit gentle though, because I've been a bit poorly, but it's been getting used. And these are my little photo bits. I've got Jaden, Ian, Cherie, Ollie and Freddie, my mum and dad, Max and Zach, my mum, dad and me, us four, Jaden, my gran and me, my gran and my cousin, Jaden, my young brother, my brother and his family, my two boys, Jordan, me and my sister, my niece, my son and some wrestler, Jaden, and my aunt, uncle and cousin, and that's my brother, my niece, my nephew and Jordan. So it is getting used. I do need to cut out another few photos to fill up the rest of it. Right, so back to this. So all I did was place this down on the Very Vanilla and just make sure there's not any kinks in it or creases. And then I just used my big scissors and trimmed it up to the gold sticker. And as I said, if I was going to use this with a photo, I would use my leading squares, put it through my die machine to cut a centre out, and put the wee one's photo in the centre from the back so that it looks framed. Okay, so that's that part done, and that's going to go in there like that. So we'll bring in our card base again, take all this extra bit off, and we can get going. So another piece of tear tape. Oops. Line it up a bit so it's straight. And they don't need to be identical because hopefully they won't go to twins. So people won't know they're not identical. take that off. Bring back in my tear tape so that it's off my surface. Bring in my ribbon. And this one's a little bit more creased, but I'm not bothered. And place it on, let me just see, place it on there. Fine for that. Turn it over and bring it over like that. And we'll trim this little bit off. That's fine. Right, card base, give it a wee bit of a burnish at the score line. Then using wet glue. Make sure I've got it the right way. I've got a habit of sticking things down upside down. There we are. Perfect. Oops. A wee bit of glue leakage, that's fine though. We can get away with that. Once it dries, I have got my adhesive glue remover rubber thing. Right, so that's that part done. Then we'll take our little topper and up on dimensionals. 1, 2, 1 in the centre, and then corners. As I said, I saw, who was it? That's terrible. There was someone on Stampin' for All community that done a mini album using these journaling cards, and it was stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. And I can't remember who it was. My brain is just mush just now. Right. Like that. Place it down there. I think that ribbon's over a bit too far, but we'll make it work. Then same applies. I am just going to glue the centre. Oops. Glue the centre there. And then use my little, where did it, no, where have I put my little gold square? That's here, it's just slipped under. Panic stricken there. Right, and again I'm just popping it up in a dimensional because, as I said, I'm hoping whoever gets this I can add a photo to it, because I think that's perfect. And as I said, you could even die cut out a large letter image that large letter with soft sky or in the gold and put the number or the monogram, then I show the baby on there. That would be fine as well. So let me just see how this would work, because I'm looking here and I can see the gold sequins and I'm kind of thinking that might work coming down from it. So let me have a wee look, because if I do that I need to add a little something on top. No, it doesn't work. Okay. Right, so that's it. It's done. And that's our... I'll just clear this off. You can see it properly. That's our boy and girl cards made using Memories and More and some of the stickers from my album in my planner. But you can easily opt them out. You could even go around that with a little bit of embossing pad and use your embossing powder to make your gold round edge. You could use a gold Sharpie marker. You could go around with gold glitter. So just try different things to make it work. I think they're quite cute, and I'd be really chuffed if I received that when I had my kids. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.